control of armies from the 5 kingdoms of Araucania and vie for the throne of the ancient king in Wrath of Kings. Master your skills on the battlefield over on beastofwar.com. A world of hideous nightmares awaits in Kingdom Death Monster. Fight to survive or fade into darkness at the Kingdom Death Hub at beastofwar.com.
Hi guys, and welcome to this little first of our little sort of tips and tactics for Warmachine. So what we're doing in these is just setting out a couple of little scenarios with some models that we have and just talking about some basics and some maybe a bit more in-depth in cases as well. Some things you guys should know if you're learning Warmachine or you already play it pretty regularly. Maybe you'll pick up a couple of things. So what is our first scenario?
So first thing we're going to talk about is using your focus efficiently. So often a question comes up is, should I use my focus to boost my attack rolls? Should I use them to boost my damage rolls? When should I use them to perform power attacks? When is it better? Right? So right here, we've set up a little scenario where we've got a Crusader with 3 focus on him, a Templar, or sorry, a Vanquisher with 3 focus on him. We have a Juggernaut who's just sitting there. We're going to say it's the Protectorate player's turn, and then we've got the enemy Warcaster Kozlov sitting on 1 focus. So looking at the Crusader here is a good example. A new player might be used to the idea of spending a focus point to charge. Charging lets you move at your speed +3 towards a target. The Crusader here does not have a great charge lane to Kozlov. Really the only thing it's going to be fighting is the Juggernaut. So if you charge and you successfully hit, the damage roll is automatically boosted. Okay. Now, in this situation, a new player might consider spinning the focus to charge the Juggernaut, getting at least 3 inches of a movement, and coming up here, taking their swing and getting the boosted damage roll. But honestly, if they're fighting the Juggernaut, it's better not to charge unless they want to be in a better position. And here's why. If they're looking for that boosted damage roll, they could simply advance 4 inches, make their initial attack as normal. If they hit, they could then spin the focus to boost the damage roll and have the same result. And here's the difference. If they spin the 1 to charge, they go in and they flub the die roll, they've lost the damage roll altogether. So it's actually more efficient for them to walk up, and if they want to boost damage, simply do it in that manner. Now, the other question that often comes up is, when should I boost attack rolls and when should I boost damage rolls? So in this situation here, let's say that our Crusader has simply advanced 4 inches. Now, he's mat 6. This Juggernaut is defense 10. So to hit him, he only needs a 4. That's well below average. In this situation, we're just going to roll the dice like normal. And I've got a pair of our sweet Privateer Casino dice here. So I'm going to roll. And I would hit. I would crit, in fact. Now, the POW plus strength of my mace is 18. This Juggernaut's armor is 20. So whatever I roll on my 2-die damage, I'm effectively doing dice -2 worth of damage. So the question is, should I spend a focus to boost? Or should I not? Because every focus I don't spend is an additional attack I can make. So if you think about it this way, the die I'm rolling is -2. If I spend 1 die, I'm simply adding just 1 more into that, and that total is still -2. So I'm only spending 1. But if I spend that instead to make an additional attack, that's another 2 dice -2. So you're going to have a greater number on average. So therefore, when you have a low number like that, when it's only dice -2, it's actually better to buy more attacks than it is to boost damage. So in this situation, for example, let's just roll it out and see how much damage I would do. So if I hit with that first attack, and well, let's only go with the mace for now, it would be dice -2. So I would do 5 points on average. Let's ignore the 5th attack and simply say I was only using the mace. I would buy an attack. I would hit. I would do dice -2. At this point, I've done a little bit below average. So I've done 4. I'm up to 9 total. I'll buy an attack. I'll hit. Dice -2. And we'll roll in the box. Went a little bit above. So that's 7. I'm up to 16 total. I'll buy my last attack. Hit. Dice -2. And spike very high. Doing a 9. Was I at 16? So 25 total. 25. And that's with pretty high spikes. Let's try it again with boosting damage every chance we get. So if I walk up and I hit and I boost damage. So dice -2.
So your damage roll's using 3 dice.
3 dice. So a little bit below average. I do 6 points. I buy an attack. I hit. And then I boost damage rolls. And you see, instead of making 4 dice -2s, I've made 2 3 dice minus 2s, effectively.
Yeah.
So even with that being exactly average, that's another 8. It's well below. And you can simply do the math. If we roll, say, 7 every single time on 4 dice, then that would be a total of 20 points of damage. If we roll average on 3 dice twice, that's 10 minus 2 is 8. We would do 16 on 2 dice. So you often want to consider your averages. Usually when you get to the dice minus 4 position on your armor rolls, that's when you want to consider boosting. Then, of course, you have to consider high def models. So let's go over here to the Vanquisher and Kozlov. Now, in this situation, the Vanquisher is outside of 6 inches. His speed is 4 and his reach is 2 inches. So I can only walk 4 and swing. So I have to charge.
So you're forced into that because of the distance.
Because of the distance, exactly. So if I spend 1 and I charge, giving me a 7-inch charge, I can go all the way into range with Kozlov. Now, this damage roll is automatically boosted. I'm mat 6. He's defense 15. That means I need a 9 to hit. So I've only got 2 focus left. If I boost to hit, I have a better chance of the 9. And then I'm automatically boosted damage rolls. But then I've only got 1 focus left to buy an attack, needing to hard roll a 9. However, if I don't do that, then all I can simply do is buy an attack and find myself in the situation where I need to hard roll a 9 to possibly boost damage for a charge. Or boost to hit. It's the same result either way. So in a situation like this, it's absolutely better to spend the second focus and roll the 9. And rolling 9s is super easy on 3 dice. See, sometimes you get it exactly how you wanted it. Now, I've actually done damage here with the Vanquisher, and we're going to do this on Kozlov. So Kozlov's armor is 17, and my attack here is a 16. So it's dice minus 1. It's boosted because I charged. So at this point, I'd be doing 7 damage to Kozlov. Another focus efficiency is using focus off casters or whether or not to soak damage. So they could spend 1 focus point per damage roll to reduce the damage by 5. In a situation where you're taking typically more than 5 damage, there's no reason not to spend the focus to reduce it. It's when it gets below that that you might want to consider the amount of more incoming attacks you're taking. Because if I take 7 now or I spend a focus and reduce it down to 2, it's pretty much the same no matter what, even if I take, say, 13 later and reduce it down to 8. So at this point, he would absolutely want to spend a focus and reduce that down to only 2 points of damage, especially knowing that my Jack here only has 1 focus to buy an attack, needing a 9 to hit and dice minus 1, right? But sometimes when you take, say, 2, 3, or 4 damage, you have to assess the field and see how many more incoming attacks do I have. Are there other infantry, or are there other jacks, or even a warcaster that's coming at me, and am I willing to take that much damage? Which is another good tactic. If you can get to a caster and do death by 1,000 cuts, you can absolutely just ping them down every little bit, because if you do 1, 2, 1, 2, back and forth is a little bit, eventually they're going to have to burn through their focus on small damage attacks. So that's a really quick overview of some smart focus efficiency. And one of the keys to victory in Warmachine is absolutely using your focus in the proper ways, allocating smartly, knowing when to boost and how to boost.
So, for example, we've been doing a bit of training games and stuff like that, and we've been playing a bit casually as well. That is something that's never really tweaked with me before. I knew focus was clearly important. It's a very high maintenance thing to make sure you have it managed right. But demonstrating that you don't always need to charge, especially in the shorter distances, you're probably more beneficial if that Jack has the focus just to walk up and start buying the attacks or boosting if needed.
Absolutely.
Particularly on the Warcaster. Now, I'm nervous about Warcasters. I'm nervous about putting them forward. I'm nervous about seeing one come forward because, you know, I don't know what to do. But you're saying, like, if you can get multiple unit combat onto him, it doesn't matter how much focus he's holding to defend that, because you could just keep chipping away. And
that's the thing. A lot of people, like, say Kozlov here is a 6 focus caster, and a lot of people will say, say I camped 6 focus and I just run into the enemy. Well, that's 6 focus. That's 30 damage I can soak. Well, not exactly. Because anything that spikes above 5, you can only take 5 away. And if someone can just ping you over and over and over again with multiple maybe sniper shots or anything like anatomical precision that does a single point, if they can keep getting on you, then your focus efficiency drops significantly to where you'll get to the point that, say, he has only 3 boxes left and he's taking 4 sniper shots that do a point left. He has to start spending a focus every single time he gets hit just to stay alive, even though he's just using it for 1 point each. And as an opponent, you want to often look for those weaknesses and exploit them if you can. Not every hit on a caster has to be the big warjack crushing him to death. It's often the supporting infantry that can really take them down out of nowhere.
Because you'll find sometimes you'll find the opponent will be focusing on what your warjacks are doing or what your big, heavier stuff's doing.
Right.
And we'll forget about, the Winter Guard or something that's coming along and going, oh, look at that.
Exactly.
Something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you ever get the situation, because a lot of warcasters often have a high defense, possibly a high armor, but high defense is a little bit more likely.
Yeah.
If you ever get a situation where you can knock their caster down, making their defense effectively 5 against ranged and magic attacks or automatically hit in melee, that's when, say you knock a caster down and you have a unit of Winter Guard infantry who have usually a lower rat but decent weapons, all of a sudden if they can all get in range and shoot them, that's just that death by 1,000 cuts again. And if you pay attention to their focus and say they're sitting on only 2, it's worth making those attacks.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that covers that one.
Yeah, that's a quick little tactical tip for everyone.
Yep, we have a few more coming, so stay tuned for that. Put your comments down below if you're an experienced Warmachine player. Do you back up what we're talking about here, or...
I hope so. Yeah.
Have you been a victim of good efficiency with focus, or are you chronically bad with your focus? Because I know I probably am at times. But yeah, take your comments down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Yep.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now, and be sure to check out beastsofwar.com for the latest gaming news and gaming Let's Plays. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe, and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.